Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn. I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. My guest lecturer today is a trailblazing pioneer with a big heart and an even bigger vision. Bronx native Akira Armstrong credits include Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. She is also the creator of the Pretty Big Movement dance company. Let's take a look at what they do. Welcome to Model Behavior, Akira Armstrong.
Hey,
Thank you for coming, Mama.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what I usually do is I try to have people start off at the beginning of their careers, but I want to kick yours off with a little story you told me before the camera started rolling on how we originally met.
Yeah, so we originally met, we didn't even know each other. I happened to be on the D train going to work, and you were sitting across from me with a gentleman, and you handed me a flyer to Full Figure Fashion Week. I had no clue what it was, and I was just so taken back. I was like, this beautiful woman with this nice forehead, she just gave me this flyer. I don't know what it is, but here we are, full circle.
You had to be done. You probably painted like you were right now.
Yes,
because
yes,
I can spot beauty at 100
Oh,
paces.
thank you.
And so
Thank
you had to be well put together for me to
Yes,
give you that flyer.
Yes.
So I know you primarily through the Pretty Big Movement.
Yes.
Pretty Big Dance Movement or Pretty Big Movement?
Pretty Big Movement.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me how, now this is, you told me this was 10 years and this is 10 years you're celebrating now.
Yes.
How did this concept come about?
Oh my goodness, this concept came about honestly since I was a little girl. I started dancing at the age of 8, and I always struggled with my weight, and it's always been an issue for others. And
I like how you just, yeah.
Yeah, it's been an issue for others, but not me. And I come from a supportive background. My mom's single parent. She always told me I was beautiful, no matter what I did. But anyway, I created Pretty Big Movement because there wasn't a platform for plus-size dancers. And being a plus-size dancer is very passionate to me. And I knew that there were other plus-size professional dancers out there. I just needed to seek them out. And then once I got to a place where I found the women that I needed to come on this journey with me, long and behold, Pretty Big Movement is standing strong.
So how did you find them, though? Because you said you knew that there were other plus-size dancers out there. You just had to find them. How did you know that they were out there?
Oh, I knew. You know, this is what we do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is block party. I'm sitting here thinking about it now. Block parties, all sorts of stuff. It was always the big girl.
Yes, always the big girl.
Hanging right along with the smaller
Right
ones.
along and killing it.
Yes.
So I had put up a post on MySpace. This was before Instagram, before Facebook. I put up a post looking for dancers, plus-size dancers at Harlem School of the Arts, where I held our first auditions, and only 4 women showed up. You know, I was a little discouraged, and there was still one with me. And it took some time. You know, I had put it on hiatus for about 2-3 years before I started it. And then I ran into a good friend of mine, Rhapsody James, who's also a plus-size choreographer. She just didn't take the route of being a dancer. She went the choreographer, creative route. And she said, what are you doing with your big girl thing? And I said, I ain't doing nothing with it. She said, no, you got to do something with it. It's necessary. And long and behold, she sat me down for about 2 to 3 hours, and she literally walked me step by step by step what it is that I needed to do to be a businesswoman, to make this a business.
Wow.
And she told me need to get my LLC, trademark it, all of the stuff I had no clue about. But thank God for her who took the time to take the steps with me. Literally, when she sat me down, this was in 2008, coming into 2009, I haven't looked back since.
Really?
I have not looked back since.
So take me on the journey to where you are today, because everybody knows about y'all now.
Finally! So the journey of Pretty Big Movement, it has been I say it has been a concrete, beautiful, blossoming journey because it literally started from the ground up. And the journey hasn't always been pretty. It's been very ugly.
Talk about that.
The ugly side, some of the women that I've started with are no longer with me, and that's okay.
Is that an ego thing? Or?
I think it is an ego thing. I think it's an ego thing. I think it's the lack of knowledge of the business and how things are run when you don't know and you're not aware. And that's just, you can't hold someone accountable if they don't know.
That's true. When you don't know,
when you don't know,
you
you don't know. So, and not really putting yourself out there to want to know and want to learn. And I've always been a leader in my sense of just how I was raised. So, it didn't start, I'm still not with the people who I started with, but it has grown into something beautiful because God has sent me 8 beautiful angels who have been riding this journey with me for the past 8 years.
And they're supposed to be here.
And they're supposed to be here. And they're here for a reason. I have learned so much about myself in this journey. As a leader, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of sacrifices.
Like what?
Family time,
Yeah.
relationships, money. An interesting thing people don't know about me is I started, the way I funded the back end for my company was I was doing makeup in a strip club. Yes.
Well, strippers gotta be beat too.
They gotta be beat too to make their money, So I did that for about 6 years. And that was like my only source of income right after I left Macy's. I was just strictly in the clubs working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming home with like $400 or $500, paying for my LLC, paying for my trademark, paying this website, whoever. Like, that's how I did it, honestly.
Okay, so that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, whole nother
Because
story.
what was that like?
Woo!
Was you learning some new dance moves too?
One thing, I never really was, I never had the desire to go out on the floor to like really look. Once in the blue, but I was about my money. I just wanted my money.
So you wasn't even checking for that?
I wasn't really checking for them. I didn't give me my money. You want your face beat. Pay my money up front. I don't want to go out on the floor looking for you. That's usually most of the time I would go on the floor when no one paid me my money right away. So I'll go looking for them. I don't care if they was lap dancing. I want to go home. I didn't care what they was doing. I want to go home and have my money, So it made me strong. You're dealing with all sorts of personalities. These girls are coming from different walks of life, domestic violence. Some of them just trying to get through school. Some of them have baby daddy left them. They got to feed their kids. They don't have, the quick, fast money is what they needed. You meet so many different women, but they're all good women at the end of the day because women are women. We all fight.
And you do what you have to do to feed your babies.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Cardi B and Major, I did all of them before they.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, wait a minute. Now,
Yes.
now you also told me that you worked with Beyonce.
Yes, I did. Yes,
In
I
what
did.
capacity?
As a dancer, I worked with Beyonce. I auditioned here in New York City at City Center with.
That's where I work.
Hey, City Center. It was my first professional gig. I didn't even know what to expect. I showed up the next day. Women were camping out. Like
Yes, my boss told me this story.
It was like crazy out there. I was like, okay, this was not what I expected. But anyway, they took 150 of us at the same time. They broke us up into zodiac sign because everybody has a birthday. So that's how Frank Gatson, at the time, who was her artistic director, he broke us up in groups. And I knew going into that audition, I said, I know I'm short, I know I'm chunky, but I know I can dance. I wasn't rushing to the front to be seen. I said, if I'm going to be seen, I'm going to be seen regardless. And I happened to be the last girl in the last row, which was 8th row. And Frank Gatson handed me this pink slip, and he was like, I need you to come back for a callback. Callback was the next day at Alvin Ailey. A whole plethora of women again. I said, well, I thought I had the ticket, just to go in. I was oblivious to this whole process. But anyway, we learned Get Me Body choreography, Tanisha Scott, another choreographer. We did Upgrade You. All this we had to learn within the 3 hours.
I love that choreography to upgrade you. That is so sexy.
So we learned all this choreo. Frank had left the room. He brings Beyonce in the room. I said, oh, it's turn up time.
I know that's right.
I said, it's turn up time, you know? And she sat right in front of me. I know he was whispering back and forth, back and forth. I said, oh, no, Kara, it's game time. So, you know, I went out, you know, did my thing. After that, you know, they said, we'll give you a call back. We'll let you know. A week goes by.
Stop. You said it's game time.
It's game
what
time.
did that mean to you?
Game time to me was, Akira, no slacking, pull up, and dance your ASS off.
Okay, clearly you did that.
That's what it was, game time for me. And, you know, a funny story, after we did the whole process of the audition, Beyonce came out. I never forget. It makes me emotional every time I think about it. But I had leaned against the wall. I slid down. I was like, oh, it's been a long process. Like, I just need to sit for a minute. And she came out of the studio and she bent over and she said, you are amazing.
Wow.
Literally.
Did that validate everything for
It
you?
validated everything for me. I said, if I don't get another gig, if I don't continue pretty big, Beyonce herself told me that I was amazing. And I took that with me.
You about to make me cry. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I held on to that.
And you went on the road.
Went on the road.
And which tour was this?
I didn't get booked for tour. I got booked for 2 music videos. So I waited a whole week before I even got a response. I got that call Friday night.
I don't have no tissue,
It's
but
okay.
you can use my face cloth.
I got that call Friday night. Sunday, I was on a plane to LA by myself. Scared, didn't know what to expect, didn't know anybody. I just knew I was just booked to be in some video with Beyonce.
And so which videos were you in?
Get Me Body and Green Light.
And we can find you.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Right on YouTube. You can find those 2 music videos. And it was such a amazing experience.
You took pictures with her?
No, we couldn't get any pictures.
What?
Nope, no pictures. Didn't even get a picture with Miss Kelly Rowland. She kind of shut me down. I'll never forget that. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
What happened with that?
So, long story short, we're all wrapping up. You know, at the end of the Get Me Body video, everyone's exchanging information. Nice to meet you. We want to keep in contact. And I had snapped a picture with her and a friend of mine's, and I thought that would be the great time to ask for a picture. I asked for a picture, and she was just like, oh, I have to just go back on set. And literally, she just walked right up to a monitor. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. You know, like, okay.
All right. So
Okay.
she going to regret that shit. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to regret doing that because this is a star right here. Okay. You know, okay, I'm not even going to go into that, but that's not right.
Yeah, she, but it was, in its totality, it was a great experience. I built a lot of relationships, and I think that's what's most important.
And when you finished that, did you come back even more inspired to kick pretty big into the
Yes, I did.
stratosphere? So what were your next moves when you finished?
So my next moves, so after we wrapped up the video, I had made the decision to audition for a dance agency so I can have representation. I just did this amazing video. Why not get representation so that I can book more jobs? So I auditioned for 2 dance agencies, Block and Clear Talent at the time. They all kept saying, she's good, but we don't know what to do with her. You got to think back. This is 2007.
Yeah, I done heard those words before.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? What do you? I just, does that validate something? Like, and I guess it didn't really matter. And I had called Frank. I never forget. I said, Frank, they say they don't know what to do with me, so I'm just going to head on back to New York City. And he said to me, they don't have no vision. That was my aha moment. Literally. I came back to New York City. I sat down. I had a moment to myself. I said, what is it that you really, really want to do? What fulfills you? What's going to make you happy? And I said, dance. I said, I'm going to go full throttle with this. This is going to be my everything, my employment, everything that I want to do. And I kept pushing. I pushed forward. There was a lot of bumps in the road. There's a lot of no's.
What was the big breakthrough for you?
The big breakthrough for me, I would have to say when my mom got sick. My mom suffered a stroke and a brain aneurysm.
Oh my.
And this was all while, I mean, Pretty Big was already in its fruition, you know, going on. But this was like my major, like, it's either going to continue or I'm just going to stop. Because my mother is my everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she got through that, and we're here now to this, you know, she's fine. You wouldn't even think that she went through this. My mother's a warrior, you know, like a true warrior. But that for me changed a lot about how I looked at life and how you don't give up on something that you really, really love. Because I know if anything was to happen to her, she would never want me to stop doing what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And so I made the decision to say, I'm going to keep pressing. I'm going to keep pushing. And by this time, I knew that I had affected a lot of young girls and women and men who you know, who kind of suffer with low self-esteem and who didn't love themselves. And they look to Pretty Big to see that she can do it, then I can do it. So that's my purpose. So that's why it's so important for me to just continue to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. And Pretty Big has been the catapult to push me on a daily basis. There are plenty of days I want to give up.
Don't we all?
Plenty of days.
Don't we
where I
all? But
want
what
to
keeps you?
give
What
up.
makes you press on?
Well, the women that's in my company, no one's perfect. You know, everyone has their own things going on, but they have this strength about them. All of them give something beautiful. They have just an essence about them. We have rehearsals throughout the week, so I look forward to those rehearsals. On my bad days, I'm like, I'm gonna see my girls, and I'm gonna, you know, forget about what's going on in my personal life. So they really keep me going.
So you guys are traveling now?
Yes, we are. We're traveling. We recently just came back from Rome, Italy. Yes.
Okay, all right.
And that came out the blue. And it's so funny because I was like, God, what is going on? What is happening? Like, what's the next thing? What is the next big thing? You know, because you got to keep it up. You know, I think that's...
You don't need to know. You just need to be ready.
Exactly. Exactly. So Rome, Italy. We're looking forward to going to South Korea in August.
Wow.
Yes, we got an offer to teach our workshops, our Movement Curves workshops out there. And it's a little city in South Korea called Jinjeong. And they are oblivious to any type of dance culture. They are not exposed to anything. So Pretty Big coming out there is going to be an awakening moment for them.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. Something stupid jumped in my head while you were talking, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there.
Yes.
So, when you hold auditions for your dancers, okay. Because I know that I can hold my own on the dance floor, but I'm not a dancer. My inner dancer, however, she soars.
Yes.
She can do anything. What do you do? Now, I've held auditions for singers, and there's always usually some good people, some great people, some not so good people, and then some really, really just memorable ones. What happens when you get that chick that she wants to do it so bad,
you know,
but she don't have the coordination and the stuff that she needs?
I'm glad you asked me that question. So last year when I held auditions, and I'm actually about to hold auditions next Saturday on the 19th, there were a lot of women that came out. I think we had about 75 women that came out, which was good, you know. And there were some that stood out, that still needed some work. And then there was some that you could see the hunger in them, but they just
I bet
not,
you can bust out an electric slide,
right.
girl. Yes.
But they just not where I needed them to be. So in that, I created this apprenticeship program.
Oh.
And we just had our performance last Sunday at the National Black Theater. Yes.
What?
Yes. So I created a Pretty Big Movement apprenticeship program, Cycle 1. We just wrapped up Cycle 1. And this was for the women who did come to the auditions, who weren't really where I wanted them to be, but I can see that they just needed some molding, some refining to get them where they needed to be, whether it was their intentions were to stay, be a part of Pretty Big Movement, or just go out and do something else that they,
Just be able to dance well in the club.
Yeah, exactly, you know. So for 6 months, every Saturday, for 5 hours, I'd taken on training 8 women along with 2 members in my company, my co-captain and 1 core member, and we really, really, really we did it. We did it. They
And no woman is too big.
No woman is too big. No woman is too big, too small. Even when I first started Pretty Big, it was about you had to be a size 14. Now that's all out the window. It's about the person. It's about the talent. It's about what they can offer, what I can give to them, what I can service to them. So 8 women. We train, mold, Graham, ballet, modern, West African, jazz.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
oh, you teaching.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Teaching.
Because I took African dance
Yeah.
in college,
Mm-hmm.
and you would think that all black people should naturally be able to child. That's
Let's talk
hard.
about it. Yeah. A lot of stamina.
What?
A lot of stamina. So these women really, really committed themselves for 6 months. It's a roller coaster. It's a challenge, some tears, struggles. But the beauty of it all was at the end last Sunday, watching them perform and where they came from to where they were now.
I wish
That's
I
the
could have
reward.
seen that.
Oh,
I
my.
wish I could have seen that.
Oh, the reward. That's the reward for me. It's not about the tangible. It's not about the money. It was the reward of seeing these women who came in broken and they left feeling confident.
Oh my goodness. So are you going to continue
Yes,
doing
I'm going to
something
continue.
like
Yes,
that?
I'm going to continue holding auditions next Saturday. Gearing for the next cycle. It was a lot of work. It was trial and error. Trial and error. Some things worked, some things didn't, but it'll get better in time. Like anything you start out with, you always got to work out the kinks and see what worked, what doesn't work. But we were blessed, even using the space that I didn't have to pay for.
I know that's right.
Come on, because paying for studio space is
that could be pricey here.
very pricey.
Yeah, that could be real pricey here.
Thank goodness we had a space that was for free, so that was a blessing in itself.
Now, when this episode airs, it'll be after you'll already be in your cycle.
Yes.
But if they want to, if people want to find out about this and get more information, where do they send it to?
They can go right on our website at prettybigmovement.com, all our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, prettybigmovement.com. They can find out all the information out.
All right. So now you also you are a accomplished choreographer. Tell me some of the folks you've worked with, because I mentioned Jennifer Hudson.
Yes,
earlier.
Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce, oh my goodness, Big Frida, Sage the Gemini, oh my goodness, who else? Jasmine Sullivan.
Well, now what goes? What goes into choreographing a piece?
Okay.
Like say something that you conceptualize from start to finish. What goes into that? What are you looking for?
So what goes into choreography, I would say, number one, your music. What music are you going to use? And then from your music, you kind of build, depending on the genre. Let's say if it's hip hop, you know that you want to. Everything is 8 counts. You want to make sure that whatever you're trying to exude and whatever the delivery is, you want to make sure that it's hitting. That it's exciting, that it's big. If it's jazz, it's a little sassy. I usually, when I choreograph, I think about the people who I'm choreographing for, the level that they're on, what they can handle, because you want to make everyone look good. That's the whole purpose of choreography. We can either do intricate choreography, with a little bit more of tutting, or if you want to do something that's a little more commercial, like Janet Jackson. It all depends on your dancers. And I always tell people, when you're choreographing, your choreography is only as good as your dancers. It could be something simple as a look.
But if everybody's
not looking on this look,
and dang, if I won't catch it. What's she doing?
Right, exactly. So something as simple as that, that I think about, who I'm choreographing for, the women, their level, and how I know they can deliver the choreography.
And tell me about America's Got Talent.
Yes.
Now, I've had other plus size groups. I had Lord, I'm losing my child's name. The Glam Ensemble. What is her name? Laura Johnson.
Yes.
Was on, and she was telling us about their AGT experience and the experience that came after that.
Oh, okay.
Which was it was interesting. So did you have a good experience with America's Got Talent, or did you get some backlash about that?
Definitely got some backlash. The experience, I would say, everyone should experience it. Whether you're a singer, dancer, musician, whatever. The experience was good, but the one thing I would say that I wasn't good was the comments. that were being made from the judges. Howard Stern didn't care for us at all. He didn't like Pretty Big. Howie Mandel, him and I had exchange of words, which was edited out because I'm going to always speak my mind. You know, they didn't get it. You know, I think it takes time for people to get something that's not normal, especially when it comes to plus size and just dance. Plus size women who are dancers, the world is not really ready for that.
They're going to have to be,
They're going to have to be, though. They're going to have to be.
Because times are changing.
And that's good. I do see it changing. I do see the change coming, which is really good. But some of the comments that were made and brought me back to that little girl.
Yeah, that's what they're designed to do.
And I had an emotional moment after we got off. We made it to round 2, and then we got cut from there. But, you know, I can't really remember, you know.
And that's fine.
Exactly, but.
Because that was only one.
Yeah.
And where did you go after that?
Oh, after that, we got offered Lane Bryant. We worked with Lane Bryant 3 times, 3 of their campaigns, I'm No Angel campaign, Plus Is Equal campaign, and This Body campaign. This Body campaign was the biggest.
That's the big one.
That's the big one with the billboard. We're in stores nationwide. And that was just amazing. I think that is what really broke through for Pretty Big. But before the Lane Bryant, we had a mini documentary with a company called The Scene. And this was just a documentary of me talking about myself, Pretty Big. And it got over 10 million views in one night. And from there, people started calling us from all over.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Okay, we're almost out of time, but look at camera 2 and give the audience some parting words.
I just want to say to the little girl that's out there who doesn't love herself or doesn't think that she's worthy, I am a testament of telling you that you are worthy and you are beautiful, and dream big.
All right, guys, you hear that. So we're just about out of time. I'd like to thank my guest, Akira Armstrong, for sharing her industry knowledge with us today. Now, before I go, as always, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to, 1, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. 2, always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. 3, do what you love and love what you do. And lastly, be who you are. But be who you are tastefully. Always have a little class about yourself. Now don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. If you missed an episode of Model Behavior, now you can catch up on all of the previous episodes. Just put in Model Behavior, and all of the previous episodes will come up. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see you guys next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.